This is the second in a series of video tutorials to introduce HTML5 and content to be included in a site plan. If you have not watched the first video, please do so. This video assumes that you have already created a workspace in the Sandbox project where work related to these tutorials can be done. The code to begin this video can be downloaded from the page where this video is found. The code to begin this video is the same as the code that should have been produced by completing the first video tutorial. Open NetBeans. In the Projects panel, find and open the Sandbox project and the Plan Demo folder. Open the plan.html page. Click inside of the body element. This video focuses on building the structural HTML to house the various components of the site plan. However, the document that you will have produced at the end of this video could easily be a template used to produce other pages in a website. We will begin by using HTML5 structural elements. To learn more, visit the URL shown on the screen and click the links for each of the structural elements listed. Think of these elements as rooms in a house. Each room is set aside for a specific purpose, and each holds specialized furniture. HTML structures do the same. They partition the web page into areas, each intended to hold specialized content. Let's begin at the top of the page and create a header. A web page can have more than one of these, but this will be the main page header, and we will add some additional markup to identify it as such before the end of the video. Next, we will add a nav structure. As you can probably tell, this will hold links for navigation. As with the header, there can be more than one of these areas on a web page. So we will add additional code later to indicate that this is the main navigation area. Now let's add the main element. This is where the primary content of the page will be stored. According to the W3C recommendation, there can be only one of these, but we will add some additional code to let the page know more about it later. Occasionally, a page will have an area to hold content that is related to the main content, but not directly part of it. The aside is a good choice for this type of content container. We will add it next and add additional code later to tell the browser what it is and what it is for. Finally, we will add a footer. Like all of the other structures mentioned, other than main, there can be more than one footer on a web page, but this will be the main page footer, and we will add code to specify that. Now that we have the main structures in place, let's return and add some inner divs. A div is a generic element that has no meaning, semantics, specific to it. It is generic. But these can be handy for giving us flexibility when it comes to styling a web page. An inner div is exactly what it sounds like. It is a div placed inside an existing structure, kind of like a double wall. Let's go back and add an inner div to each of the structural elements and to the body element too. Having added the divs to the interior of the structures, let's go back and add some attributes to each of the structural elements. We will add two attributes to each, a role and an ID. The role attribute is very useful to assistive technologies such as screen readers, and is part of the W3C Accessible Rich Internet Applications, also known as ARIA, technologies. While there are many roles, we will only use the landmark roles. To learn more, visit the URLs shown on the screen. Go back and add the roles to each of the structural elements as shown in the video. Having added the ARIA roles, we will add an ID to each of these same structures. An ID attribute is a means of identifying each element as being unique from all other elements on a web page. It is important to know that an ID's value can occur only once per page. If you reuse the same value, it produces an error. Add an ID and the value to each of your structures as shown in the video. Be sure to carefully review the video to ensure that your markup matches that in the video. With the structures added, this page can easily be saved and reused as a template to build other web pages. But before doing so, you would want to add some of the common content that would be the same across the entire website, which will be addressed in the next video.